everybody, I just wrapped up the final workout of month 3 of All-American Muscle. So, goods and bads. I enjoyed it overall. The schedule, the calendar looks like you've got your push, your pull, and then your leg workouts. And then you went back to those speed training and jump training combine days. So, lifting wise, I enjoyed the workouts. Now, remember, in this month culminizes in, it's called the All Max Challenge. So the 3 heavy lifts, power lifts that you worked on all month were your bench, your squat, your bench press, your squat, and your deadlift. But you never maxed out this month. You stayed around your 65% and your 80% of your 1 rep max, and you worked on explosiveness because the science behind it, the theory behind it, is working on those fast twitch muscle fibers increases strength. So in a day or two, we're going to test that theory and see if I can hit some PRs, which I'm pretty excited about. Because you didn't spend the whole month maxing out on those lifts, you don't feel taxed. I don't feel overworked at the end of a workout. I feel like I got a good workout in, but I also feel like I could go longer if need be. But I think that is part of preparing for this coming challenge, because this upcoming challenge is going to completely tax the body by the end of it. So beyond that, quick review. A lifting exercise consists of your primer, your 1 heavy lift using that Cat 5, and I'll put it down below what Cat 5 means. Training technique. All right, real quick note, everybody, the second half of month 3, I didn't notice this on the first lifting workout, today's legs, that Cat 5 has changed slightly. He's added 1 extra rep to each set, but your weights percentages stay the same. Then you go on to 2 moves that you focus on the iso hold, the stretch hold, and then you go on to 2 more moves where you focus on the 5-second eccentric of that move, culminating, or boy, I like that word, finishing up with, I don't know the term he uses, but the, what was it? It's iron will drills from like the first month, but this month is focused on more power and explosiveness. I believe all of the moves, minus maybe 1 or so, utilized the landmine. I think that's a big thing to point out because I think that's a different piece of equipment that not all people have access to, so that's something to consider. But those all, again, stuck with that theme of explosiveness this month. The cons, things I wasn't the fondest of, the combine days. Just like in month 1, month 3, I didn't find them taxing. Granted, I didn't do any of the speed ones, so I guess I can't even review that or say anything about it. I did the jump training, 1 of them, maybe 2. But mind you, that's not, you will get your heart rate up, but it was more or less focusing on jumping drills and how to execute them and land them safely, which were easily done inside in my basement. The speed drills just might be something this summer that I will definitely give a try, but if you're in a commercial gym or if you're somewhere like me and it's dead of winter, laying on your back and then hopping up and sprinting so far, the S sprints, they're not really doable. they can't even be done on a treadmill for the most part. So that's something to consider. I wasn't too impressed with those. But like I said, if it's nice outside, you're at the track, then your feelings could completely, my feelings could completely change on those. So that's the wrap up on month 3. As I said, rest day, and then that all max challenge to culminate the month, which I'm looking forward to testing my limits on. Finally, then will come month 4, and I will say this, lots of components to month 4, lots of culminating components from everything this program's had to offer thus far. Super excited for month 4 based on the little tidbit that I have reviewed. Hey everybody, in the midst of the All Max Challenge, the end of month 3 of Athlean-X's All American Muscle. Couple of notes because I've got the time. Plan on being in the gym for a while. He definitely sets you up with a chart, warming up, building up to maxing out on those 3 main lifts: bench, deadlift, squats, starting with squats. I actually do have my timer going right there, and I have my timer going not to keep me moving, but to ensure I take adequate rest now that I've hit, I just hit the 100% rep. And then once you hit that, you do continue to push yourself, but your rest it's anywhere from 5, 10, even 15-minute rest in between. So a timer is a good idea just to make sure that you are getting that adequate rest in between each rep. But as I said, plan on being here in the gym for a little while. And so far, so good. There's scoring that goes along with this challenge. I think it's if you don't max out on all 3 of them, or if you don't max out on any of them, then you are instructed to repeat month 3. If you max out on 2 of it, he goes over it. There's a, if you max out on so many, move on. I think it's the only thing is if you don't max out on all 3 or hit your 100%, 102%, then repeat month 3. But my plan, because as I said, there were percentages. After a while, I'm like, ugh. From month 3 where you were at in regards to your 60% of your 1 rep max and about like 80% of your 1 rep max. So I filled in my chart, kind of did a little bit of calculations, but at this point, my plan is kind of just to follow a 3x5 progression in every rep, just adding 2.5 pounds or 5 pounds total to each rep and just seeing how far I get. So I will update you when I'm done. Hey everybody, I just wanted to update you. I got down here probably a little before 9:30 this morning. It's now 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm still down here. Just so you know the extent of how long, depending on, it can stretch, or it can be a very large span of time. Granted, I think in the past I've been very, I want to say just timid about my deadlift weight and my squat weight, just always being mindful. I could have pushed it more, but always want to just be mindful of form and not hurting myself. So in regards to squats and deadlifts, I've surpassed 102% of my 1 rep max. I've blown that out of the water. In fact, quite a bit. My squat today, I maxed out at 213 pounds, just getting ready to take on 213 pounds on my deadlift. Whereas with my bench press, I've been pretty on par with that, what my max is. I did surpass and set a new PR on that. I believe it was 115 pounds. But just to give you an idea of how time consuming this challenge is. Hey everybody, so I officially wrapped up month 3 of this program. I didn't, like, maxing out on those 3 heavy lifts, I didn't physically feel super tired, like muscular wise, but by the end of that extremely long span of time, I do know I was just exhausted. Like I told my husband, I am tired. And he does say those rest periods that you're taking, 5, 10, 15 minutes, they're also kind of a neurological rest. So it's interesting this farther into the day, it's now 7 o'clock at night, looking back on just the remainder of my day, how just tired I was afterwards. So it is draining. It was very draining, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it tremendously. So much so, it makes me, or I should say it made me reflect on just how far I have come over these past, I want to say, I don't even know how long I've been doing this now, because I want to say 2.5 years. Has it been 2.5 years? 3 maybe, because I started with his YouTube channel and utilizing his corrective exercises and doing that for a little while before I ever purchased AX1, and then I remember starting AX1 in January. But the photo that I collaged, or I did a side-by-side, was this picture was actually just taken this past week, and the before picture was taken in 2017. I think I was 3 months post baby number 2. So it's always nice to do something like that. To just, sometimes taking those before photos are just hard. It's so hard, and sometimes it can be a little truthfully just a little demoralizing, because you sometimes you'll look at that picture and it's like, oh, how did it go get this far? But it is nice to have that. And so those pictures are about 4.5 years apart. But it also made me reflect on just remembering with starting my AX1 journey. I remember thinking about that AX1, that 400 challenge coming up, and the inverted rows. I need to go back and look. I remember thinking I have to do 100 of these things. Like, I cannot get through like 5 of them. So it just feels good. It feels very, very good. The thumbnail too that I put at the front of this video, this was also taken this past week. It was after a zone 2 ride. I still incorporate a lot of cardio. I enjoy my cardio. I find a lot of cardiac benefits to it. So this was after, it was just an amazing cardio zone 2 ride with my spin bike. I had it, this was the first time I've rolled it up in front of the TV. I found the perfect YouTube spin bike destination, and it just felt great afterwards. So I had to snap a photo. I was so pumped. But so that's, I don't know, a little motivational speech for the end of this month. So hope everybody is continuing on, moving forward, and also looking back and recognizing with consistency and with time, there are lots of progress to commend yourself on. Like I said, I'm beyond pumped with the results that I ended up with for the All Max Challenge, and looking forward to seeing where month 4 ends up. So, stay healthy, stay strong, celebrate your progress, and I will see you in month 4.